I've seen a quote from Aristotle a few times, and you've probably seen it too, but this time it clicked, and I truly understood how life-changing it is. To explain the quote and its power, we're gonna have to talk about how to make $100 million. So, to build a company with $100 million in annual revenue, you've got a few options. You sell 10 million items for $10, or 100,000 items for $1,000, or 1,000 items for $100,000 each. Or imagine yourself as a hunter, looking to get enough calories to feed your tribe. You can either hunt 1 elephant, 10 deer, or 1,000 flies. And the same is true with your personal development and your daily habits. They are not created equally. Let's start by looking at the immensely valuable elephant habits. When we think of making change, we love to think about huge life events that drastically change the direction of our future. We like to imagine speaking with a celebrity or stumbling upon the perfect partner, or even winning the lottery. And yes, if you could do all of those things consistently, then your life would probably change for the better. But you don't have control over these things. You can't force them. They're unreliable. And having been in that frame for ages, it just leads to you waiting around and hoping that the fairy godmother's gonna show up. In the jungle of life, the elephant is a valuable animal, but it's rare. How can we make powerful habits less rare and basically happen all of the time? Maybe we should be hunting flies. There's lots of them because they're tiny habits. You could turn your phone off on airplane mode when you're traveling, or spray lavender on your pillow before bed, or even set the breakfast table the evening before, or introduce 50 other tiny habits. And this is great in theory, but difficult in practice. I've seen firsthand what happens when people try to introduce dozens of tiny habits. They become overwhelmed, forgetful, and sapped of their willpower. And this happens because it relies on taking a lot of unconscious action and making it conscious, and this is just not something the human brain can easily do. So what should we do? Well, we should strive to find the happy medium. Elephants are rare and flies are difficult. The sage should hunt deer. You can control them, they pay a medium reward and without great difficulty. You might consider exercise or reading or joining a mastermind or even pole dancing, dependent on your purpose. You should strategically create a daily routine and fill them up with these habits, and use these medium habits to develop as a sage. Only when one becomes a master at the basics are they ready to start stacking hundreds of small habits to manufacture big ones. You've got to become the master of the basics before you start piling on the difficult things. Aristotle says, "As it is not one swallow or a fine day that makes a spring, so it is not one day or a short time that makes a man blessed and happy. These virtues are formed in man by his doing the right actions." And what he's saying is, don't focus on these big life-changing events. Focus on the right habits or the daily routine, and that will make you happy. And not only will it make you happy, it will literally shape your identity. If you improve your daily habits, you become a better person and one step closer to becoming a sage. And this belief is most aptly summarized by the philosopher Will Durant. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit.